What's up, YouTube? Today we'll be talking about what beginners in the gym need and people who want to get more advanced in the gym might want to do. So when you first start the gym, the biggest thing is finding a gym. Depending on where you live, you might have one, you might have 20 to choose from, but it's important to work with what you have. So say you live in a small town like me, I have to drive over to the nearest town, and we have 3 gyms in that area, and out of those 3, I prefer one called Energy Fitness. Shout out Energy Fitness. It's out of the 3 prices that I've seen, I'm pretty sure one is $55, one's $40, one's $43. The 40 and 43 ones are the better of the 2, or price range, it's better. What sets apart the $40 gym and the $43 gym, in my opinion, is the equipment and spaces, or how much area that gym has. So the $40 one is way bigger, as in ceiling height and just area in general. The only thing is the gym equipment is a little bit older, and it also has more stuff but less variety in a way. That is the best way to put it. So with Energy, all their equipment is a little bit newer, and honestly, some of their equipment just has a better range of motion. So really just find a gym you like, find out what equipment they have and what works for you. So the biggest thing I see is, people always want to, especially people who do scientific based lifting, there's nothing wrong with that, but if the movement or the workout is awkward for you and there's one similar to it or something that'll hit that muscle, go for that one. I mean, there's no real point to waste your time doing a workout that everybody else does when it's not work for you. So once you find the gym you want to go, or the gym you want to buy membership at, depending on what time you work, or whatever you do in your lifetime or in your daytime, try to find a 24-hour one, because you never know when you need to go lift at 6 in the morning, or maybe at noon, or even freaking 12 a.m. So one that's 24 hours for members is really, it's great. It's a great option. So the one I go to 24 hours, I like the equipment. It is a little bit on the smaller side. That's the only downside to it. But apart from that, all the equipment is nice and I enjoy it. Now, the next step really is to find your split. So when I first started, I had no split. I just knew I wanted to hit chest and arms a lot more frequently. But the downside to that is all the other muscles are being denied. Like they're not being hit, and it's important to hit every muscle at least once a week, so none of them are lacking too much. I mean, once you get to a certain point, you can start focusing more on another one, but don't, forget the other ones. I'm bad about that with legs. I always end up, not hitting legs for a couple months, which ain't good, I'll tell you that. But in my case, I can go to the gym right now and probably do 8 to 10 reps of 315. So it's not like I'm necessarily weak in the legs either. So finding a split, there's so many you can find online. Once I got into actually finding a split, I started off with push-pull legs. So chested tries, back and bis, and then legs. Shoulders, I'd work in with legs. And for a while, that's what I was doing. But two downsides to that one, in my opinion, is usually you start with the bigger muscle group because it takes more effort and it takes more out of you. And so when you go to, you do chest and then you go into doing triceps, you're practically cooked. So I feel like you're getting less out of it once you've hit chest. But honestly, I mean, if you wanted to, if I wanted to, really, I could have hit tricep, like, done chest, tricep, and when the next cycle comes around, do tricep, then chest. So it's nothing you can't fix necessarily. As of right now, though, I am doing chest, then back, then arms, then core and shoulders, and legs. So a 5-day cycle, after legs, go back to chest. And I'd recommend, especially when you first start, maybe that first month when you try a bunch of different workouts, see what you enjoy and what you feel really is pushing your muscles. Because really, for example, on triceps, skull crushers are a big part, or not a big part, but a big lift people do, skull crushers. But honestly, I enjoy overhead tricep cable extensions. So up, which is practically the same movement. Only thing is, you have resistance at the top more, I feel like, because the cable's pulling you back than with skull crushers. But another reason I do that one instead, it's just more comfortable for me. I feel more comfortable doing that movement than I do with skull crushers. So it's targeting the same muscles, and it's more enjoyable and more comfortable for me. So once you've got down what split you're gonna hit, for the first 2 weeks to a month, I say find workouts for that muscle group. So for example, for me, chest day consists of one heavy movement that really pushes me at the beginning. So for me, that's incline bench press. And then I go into cable, high to low, I don't even know what you would call them, high to low cable flies. Right after that, go straight into the mid chest, and I hit just regular machine flies. And finally, just as a finisher, 2 sets to failure, which I take all my sets to failure between 6 to 8 reps normally. But by the end of your workout, you've already hit your chest pretty good. So then I do incline dumbbell press. So for a while, I was switching it up, doing flat bench, doing the machine incline, doing dips, etc. Just whatever workouts that would hit the chest. But once I found this, I get a good pump, and it's a comfortable, and it's good to where I want to go again and hit it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something I dread to go do. So find workouts for each muscle group that you enjoy and do between 9 to 12 sets, in my opinion, combined. So, however many workouts it ends up being, however you split that up. Next, it's recently I've noticed I get a way better pump when I take shorter rest periods, because I have a bad habit of when I work out, I get on my phone and start scrolling on TikTok, or watch a show between sets, and so then I end up taking like 5-minute breaks between sets, not even workout sets. So don't do that. You're wasting your time, and I mean, it's not necessarily the worst. You can still get a pump, but the less break you take, the more you really push yourself from the last set you just did. So I recommend don't be on your phone, or take breaks that are too long. It's fine, especially on heavier movements like squat or bench, where you take a little bit longer time to rest, but don't overdo it. Just don't overdo it, really. Another big thing to focus on when you first start is form. So sometimes, personally for me, I had been working out because of football in high school, so I already worked or knew to focus on form first. So if you can do a heavy movement, or if you can go heavy on a weight, but your form is ass, like, you're wasting your time, dude. Don't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it'll make you more injury prone, and it might not even hit the muscle as well as it could if you worked on your form. So if you're just beginning, take some time to go lighter and really work on the form. Go slower, because if you go slower, it'll, one, you're okay when you're going slower. Two, you're working on the form. So do a weight you can do for 8, for example, and really just focus on the form and go slow, lighter weight, so that way once you get the form down, you can move well. And even apart from that, if you get your form down, you might be likely to lift a little bit heavier than you could have just ego lifting and not working on the form. So work on the form, get it down, and then you can start putting on weights on there and really seeing how much you can actually lift and start getting stronger. Another big thing is sleep and your diet. If you're just working out to be healthy, I mean, you don't necessarily have to watch your diet, or more specifically, you don't really have to watch your calories. Just just eat a little healthier, and try to get some protein in, because it does keep you full. So even if you're not necessarily trying to build a lot of muscle, protein will keep you full, and it will just help out with your workouts. But if you are trying to build muscle, I think it's 80 to 100% of your body weight in grams of protein. So for example, for me, I am at 179s, but I am cutting down, so I'm keeping it at 150 to 160 a day grams of protein. So protein is very important. Staying hydrated is very important. And if you really want to get into drinking protein powder, that's good. Pre-workout really helps you get through your workouts if you need the extra boost. But it is caffeine, so if you're sensitive to caffeine, you might not want to do that. But a healthy diet should be good enough to get you through those workouts. But if you're tired from work or etc., pre-workout, it's a good way to go. And then finally, for me personally, I take creatine, and it keeps your muscles fuller with water, so it just makes you look bigger and leaner. So I recommend creatine if you have the money, or if you just want to get into it and you've been thinking about it and weren't for sure. So creatine is another big thing. Really, once you have all of that down, you're just ready to start building your muscle. I mean, you've got the gym you're gonna go to, you've got your split, you've got workouts, you found the stuff that you enjoy, and worked on their form, diet, sleep, and supplements if you want. That's really the basic steps to take when starting the gym, and it's really not complicated. Once you start going to the gym consistently, it just gets easier, and movements get lighter, or I say lighter, but movements get easier and more fluent, because there's people who, especially for example me, when I first started, honestly the movements looked awkward, but worked on my form and got a little bit stronger and did an eagle lift, and the lifts don't look bad anymore. Like, they don't look awkward. So just know that you can have the motivation, but you really overall need to have discipline. Going every day, or not every day, but going every day you're supposed to go, and just stay consistent. Just stay consistent, and you'll see the progress. So as long as you follow these steps, and there's variables. I mean, you can find another video if you want, and see if what I'm talking about is a bunch of bull. But for me, that's what's worked, and as of right now, I'm on the cut. So I mean, I've been lifting for a little over 2 years, so I have enough muscle to where I can start cutting. So depending on where you begin, if usually, even if you're a little bit bigger, or if you're smaller, you might want to start building muscle first before you cut. And if you're smaller, you still want to build muscle, but you're gonna be eating more than you are now. So follow these steps, and I promise you will see some results.